Whoa, do I even have any expectations of my own, or have I been adopting everyone else's of how things should go for me and what I should get in return for my efforts? Do not, I repeat, do not fall into a victim mindset. It does not serve you at all, and it certainly doesn't serve anyone else either. You are human and you're not going to get everything right 100% of the time. And think how boring life would be if you did. Hey you, welcome back to my channel. Or if you're here for the first time, then hello. Okay, so we've all experienced disappointment at some point in our lives. I've experienced it countless times in respect of myself and of other people or circumstances, and it feels highly frustrating at the time. It can also knock our confidence in ourselves or others and end up holding us back in life as we live in fear or apprehension of being let down or even letting ourselves down again. But disappointment can be easily avoided because experiencing disappointment is actually a hell of a lot less complicated than we think. Disappointment is simply a result of our expectations not being met. I'll say that again. Disappointment is a result of our expectations not being met. And when you think of it like that, then dealing with it is actually very simple because there are only two ways to respond to it when it happens and also avoid it in the future. And those two responses are either change the result or change your expectation. Simples. Okay, these things are always, they sound easier to do than when you put them into practice. And of course, us human beings not only have a negativity bias, but we also like to overcomplicate things for ourselves as we feel that gives things more meaning. But I'm not going to go into all of that now, perhaps one for another video. Okay, so let's just break this down into 5 easy steps. Okay, step number 1. Now, I'm a bit of a control freak myself, so I've had my run-ins with this one, but I promise you that life gets so much easier when you accept what is inside and outside of your control. Now, you may feel a sense of duty or responsibility even, but there are things outside of your control that no amount of wishing or trying is ever going to change, and you have to be able to recognize what those things are and accept it. The main source of my frustration in the past is the belief that I can change what already is. I cannot. You cannot either. It can be a tough pill to swallow, but the sooner you swallow it, the better. You can give up the stress, the disappointment, and live a much easier life when you do, and focus on managing things within your control. You may be able to change what is about to come, but when it's already here, it's done. You need to let it go. Which brings me on to step number 2. Take the lesson. So if something has already happened and you could have changed it, learn from it. Learn quickly and move on. You are human and you're not going to get everything right 100% of the time. And think how boring life would be if you did. So look for the lesson. And there is always a lesson in everything in life. And actually building your assessment skills of any given situation or circumstance to get really good at extracting the knowledge and wisdom is a really great skill to master. And it might be that you can repeat the experience, in which case don't let fear hold you back of trying again. Take confidence with the knowledge that you have already gained and try again. Or maybe the knowledge you have gained is that whatever it was actually isn't meant for you or meant to be. This is where you get to decide how to proceed and feel empowered about it, not disempowered. Which takes me on to step number 3. Take responsibility. When you do not take responsibility and fall in the blame game, whether that's with other people or events and circumstances, you give your power away of changing the outcome or making the decision to walk away. Do not, I repeat, do not fall into a victim mindset. It does not serve you at all, and it certainly doesn't serve anyone else either. Although it may sting a little at first, Taking responsibility feels good in the long run, and it gives you power over your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. By taking responsibility for yourself and your situation, or any situation you find yourself in, you are automatically signaling to yourself that you are capable and you can find the solution. I always say, if I got myself into this mess, I can get myself out. And sometimes I won't know what that looks like. And sometimes it won't be immediate either. But taking the responsibility and owning it gets my brain working on a subconscious level to reframe the event and find a solution or a more favorable outcome, which sometimes is simply taking the lesson and having the confidence and empowerment to let it go. Now, step 4 and 5 go hand in hand, and these two run with the theme, prevention is better than cure. So, manage your expectations well and set your own expectations to start with. Do not use other people's. Now, stumbling across this last one was a real eye-opener for me. After picking apart all my past perceived failures or disappointments, I realized that most of the time I got disappointed. It wasn't my expectations of things that weren't met. It was actually the expectations of other people. I was like, it blew my mind. I was like, whoa, do I even have any expectations of my own? Or have I been adopting everyone else's of how things should go for me and what I should get in return for my efforts? And this was quite the empowering revelation. And upon realizing this, I was able to set much more realistic expectations for myself, more in line with my values and my capabilities and my wants and my needs. So I'm going to leave you to think about that last one for a while. And just think of a time you were disappointed in the past and really pick the whole situation apart. Think of the lead up, the people involved, your thoughts and feelings going into it and coming out of it, and see what clues you can find as to whether it was yours or someone else's expectations that weren't met. And if it was someone else's, then why did it impact you in such a negative way? I'll see you soon for more things self-image, confidence, and lifestyle. But in the meantime, come and find me over on Instagram. I'm at Camilla J. Collins. I would love to see you. Come say hi. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest updates. As always, keep shining, keep smiling.